Welcome to Pioneer Viewpoint. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Jaden. As temperatures drop in Middle Tennessee, Gallatin's Public Works Department is gearing up 7 plow trucks to tackle any ice and snow that might develop. Public Works Superintendent Richard DePriest told the Chamber of Commerce they don't have the manpower or equipment to salt every street in the city. They have primary routes and secondary ones, but this is the first year that they do have enough staff that they won't have to borrow drivers from other departments.
The city of Gallatin is urging residents to do their part to bring more money into the city coffers. Sarah Wright explains the pitch.
The city of Gallatin is doing a last-minute push for the special census, with the vice mayor making her pitch.
Encouraging everyone to complete Gallatin's special census. It'll only take you a minute, and it'll help us to get state funding that we're entitled to by our population.
City Councilor Stephen Carter is also urging residents to speak with the census takers or use the QR code to be counted.
You can do your part to make sure that the state of Tennessee is giving us extra funding so that we can do more renovations and more updates to all the parks in Gallatin.
The distribution of more than $675 billion in federal funds, grants, and support of states, counties, and communities are based on census data. This money is spent on schools, hospitals, roads, public work, and other vital programs. I'm Sarah Wright.
Westmoreland has a special claim to fame. Luke Carter makes a trip down memory lane.
I'm here in the small town of Westmoreland, and although this town is small, it's got an even smaller claim to fame. I'm going to sit down with a local historian and explore the Little Tunnel in northern Sumner County. Westmoreland has grown steadily in the last 20 years, but with an expected new subdivision to arrive in early 2025, there's expected to be over 500 new residents in this town. But Westmoreland still holds its claim to fame with the world's smallest tunnel. Time to head over to school to talk to Mr. Creasy. Mr. Creasy has taught for well over 40 years at Westmoreland High School and is a local historian for the town. Mr. Creasy, tell us a little bit about the Little Tunnel and what it means to the city.
Little Tunnel means quite a bit to Westmoreland. Westmoreland was not here prior to 1886. The railroad was constructed, actually started in 1870, and then it had some bad economic times. The railroad was not completed until 1886. So the Little Tunnel was part of that. And the Little Tunnel was constructed because of a road that was existing in the area, and that road was called the Old Fort Blunt Road. And it was a connector. The tunnel itself was left as a connector, part of that road there. Used to, I would think that it was left because a cattle path from one side of a farm to another, and turned out that was part of the story with it, but the other part is part of the existing road as well. Little Tunnel was listed in the Guinness Book of World Records for a long time as the shortest railroad tunnel in the world. It still would be the shortest railroad tunnel, except for the fact that there's no railroad in it anymore. The rails were pulled up in 1976, and with that, then its claim to fame as the shortest railroad tunnel is arguable now. There is a shorter tunnel. It's actually a little bit longer. It's the Beeline Tunnel in Virginia, but it still has rails in it. So our tunnel is still the shortest tunnel, but without rails. But that's a significant history.
And that concludes our story, and with that, the rich history of the small town of Westmoreland.
While most of us view the holidays as a time to feast, not everyone in Gallatin can afford to feed themselves. Barry Isley says there is a veterans group trying to help.
The pantry is a joint effort between Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 240, and the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 9851. I sat down with Bob Bentram, quartermaster of Post 9851, to learn about the history of the pantry.
So the Veterans Food Pantry was developed about 18 years ago, and it actually was developed by the Vietnam Veterans of America. Went to one of the meetings, and we heard about it, we got excited about it, and had to ask them if they'd like to have a food pantry here at the Post. At that time, they had a total of 4 locations all around Sumner County, and we combined that and moved all that to Hendersonville, and it's been that way ever since.
Who are some of the people that you help?
We've helped a lot of veterans mostly from Sumner County. However, we never turn a veteran down, no matter where they're from.
As we enter the holiday season, the veterans who run the pantry want every veteran in Sumner County who needs food to know that the pantry is here for them. They are open every Saturday from 9 to 11 a.m. at 73R New Shackle Island Road in Hendersonville.
Football season is heading toward the playoffs. Here's a look at sports.
I'm Avery. The Tennessee High School Championship games are set for the 2024 TSSAA football playoff. I found out firsthand from Station Camp's Coach Bain how tough it gets as the playoffs close in. How do you feel your last game went?
The last game, not very well. We played a really good team.
Yeah.
They have a chance to win the state. But I didn't feel like we played good in the middle of the year, pushing towards the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then we got to this game and it just kind of fell apart through the year. But it's a good learning experience for the young guys. That you got to do them no matter what. But there's some things, if we played it again, obviously it was a really good. Marshall was a really good team. So we know to play that good team at their level, mentally we've got to correct.
Okay. And then with you just finishing your second year as a head coach, this is your second year in a row of making it to the second round. How do you feel would be a way for you to get over that hump to make it into the third and then the state?
When I took over, Coach Alexander did a good job, getting us to where the program got. And I think these last 2 years we've taken it to the next level. I think it's the first time since 2007, 2008 that we've been to second round back-to-back years. Now we got to get over that hump and get to the third round. I personally think everything's on the right trajectory. We just have to be a little bit harder in the weight room in off season. I think that's the key. I think summertime, having a good summer practice. Our kids still understand that we're going to win in the quarterfinals in January. And once they understand that, that's when we'll take the next step. And same thing we preach to y'all when you play. And they have to understand that making it past round 2, it's about what we do in January.
Yeah.
So,
are there any players you feel like are going to be a real standout dude or a standout leader going into next season?
Yeah, our quarterback's coming back. He had, off the top of my head, 2,600 total yards, which is sophomore too, so that's big. We got a handful of young guys here and there that played this year. We expect them to step up next year, but we do have a good core coming back of very experienced players. So.
And then I know the offense is more of a aggressive type of offense. You really try to punch the other team in the mouth.
Yeah.
Is that going to kind of be your same game plan going into?
Yeah. This year we expanded a little bit more, went a little more vertical game. Hopefully next year we can really attack the whole width of the field. This year, we kind of punched people in the mouth, started going over the top of them. This year we want to attack them those 2 ways, but add in the width, because it's hard on the defense if you have to defend the width of the field.
Yeah.
So that's in our plans for next year.
All Blue Cross Bowl championship games will be played at Finley Stadium in Chattanooga from December 5th through December 7th. This weekend, the Tennessee Titans take on the only team lower than them in the AFC South, the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Titans were pulverized by the Washington Commanders this past weekend, 19-42. The Titans are now 3-9 on the season and have lost 3 of their last 4 games. On the bright side, though, Tennessee holds the number 7 overall pick in this year's draft. Vol State's men's basketball team is looking optimistically at the season ahead. Gloria Taylor gives us a scoop.
He's going to talk about the season and the first game.
Okay, how did you feel about the game, the first home game this Saturday?
It was exciting. Had a good little crowd. Not only that, it's a conference game, so you got to win your conference games at home. You have to. And then you got to pick up some big wins on the road in conference if you want to make noise in the tournament. I mean, the goal is everybody's goal is to finish in the top 5 because they get a bye in the tournament. And when they get a bye, they don't have to play like 4 games back to back to back or with a day break. They only play, I think, like 3 or vice versa. But, I mean, we started out good. We played hard. And they're exciting to watch. I mean, they get after you.
How do you feel about the upcoming season?
I mean, I feel good. I mean, we got some good talented players that work hard, and they've been practicing really good. And I mean, you get tired of practicing against each other, and once you start playing, and we've played 4 games and a couple of scrimmages, and they're getting better every day. And so nothing shocks me. Nothing shocks me if we play good because we're young, so we're going to do some silly stuff. And if we cut the silly stuff out, then there's no telling how good they want to be. It's on them.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I hope y'all come see the 2024 to 2025 basketball teams this season. I encourage you to come watch them because they're all new and very exciting to watch, as Coach Lynn said.
The Nashville Predators made a surprise move over the weekend, trading goaltender Scott Wedgwood to the Colorado Avalanche. In exchange, they get goalie Eustace Anunen and a 2025 sixth-round pick. Nashville traded top goalie prospect Yaroslav Askarov to the San Jose Sharks in September. That wraps up sports. I'm Avery.
Sumner County is starting to feel like winter. Here's a look at the weather.
I'm Amy with your Pioneer forecast. Temperatures are dipping down again later this week. We'll have mostly cloudy skies today as the winds start to kick up, the high only hitting 45. More clouds tonight and the low tumbling into the 30s in Clarksville. Tomorrow starting out with clouds but a few rays of sun in the afternoon, high of 45. Some light rain and snow tomorrow night, the low dipping to 31. Just a warning, if your clothing is wet and temps are in the 30s, you could be risking hypothermia if you're out for too long. Warning signs of hypothermia include uncontrollable shivering, memory loss, disorientation, slurred speech, and drowsiness. Stay dry and stay warm. I'm Amy with your Pioneer forecast.
That wraps up this edition of Pioneer Viewpoint. I'm Jaden.
And I'm Sarah. Thanks for watching.